listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.
Exactly. It's an inspiration to others. You know, these people aren't untouchable. You know, I could have made a citizen's arrest and, you know, or something, you know, but, you know, I don't know what to say, really. I mean, I just looked into this man's eyes while I was chatting to him about being a rhododendron buff and the shrubbery. And as I looked into his eyes, I can tell you, people, you have nothing to fear. There is no dark satanic energy emanating from these people. They have no personal charisma or power. We can beat these people. We can stop paying taxes. We can stop complying with the system. We can have a peaceful revolution tomorrow. We could deny them their power. They're nothing.
Pathetic scum in charge of the earth, ruling over a once free people. Doesn't it sound like a really ironic existence that's completely unbalanced and will one day quite likely just change completely? You know,
well,
it seems perfectly natural.
As Alan Watt says on cuttingthroughthematrix.com, these people believe they have a divine right to rule. Their right of might throughout the centuries have held on to their power, and their sons haven't wasted it away, and they have a divine right to rule, and we're the herd, we're the cattle, we're the useless eaters. They don't need us anymore. Thanks for the Industrial Revolution. Bye, with your junk genes. You know, that's the mentality. They really do live in a different world.
Speaking of a different world, the Queen, being such a very lovely diplomat and only being responsible for copious amounts of genocide, wanted to visit Ireland. And give us a little bit of a background on that. I mean, you came from Ireland, didn't you?
I was born in England, but I consider myself an Irishman, and I'm the first generation, and my family suffered, and my generations of my family suffered under these tyrants, whether it be Cromwell, Masons, Rothschilds, and Osborne, who's in the cabinet now, actually, Anglo-Irish family, who's a Rothschild agent, like Mandelson. The famine wasn't a famine so much. They took all the food out of Ireland and all the cattle, and they used Ireland as a breadbasket to feed the troops in the Commonwealth. And they'd shoot people at the ports when they were taking out the food on the boats. Shoot people who were hungry trying to get the food on the boats. That's why the famine happened. That's the royal family. So when she stands there in a bejeweled tiara, laying a wreath at the spot where people were executed in the Garden of Remembrance that was set up for the people that were executed by her forces, and who's still the head of Freemasonry today, ceremonial head of Freemasonry today. She still runs most of the world, owns Canada, shuts down the Parliament recently at her whim. And to stand there in what I consider to be my country is gross, off-the-scale audacity that I thought I'd never see in my lifetime.
Well, what did you think that you'd see? What did you think that you'd see in your lifetime with these scum? I mean, apparently she wore the Irish colours in her dress or something like that.
Well, she wore green one day, yellow the next, a horrible kind of limey yellow, and then white the next. That's green, white, and gold. That's the Irish flag. So whether that's significant or not, I don't know. She had a Freemasonic white gloves on, and she's the head of a secret society, Knights of the Order of the Garter and everything, and it's just every secret society scumbag was there. She even brought the Prime Minister with her. You know what I mean? It was sickening and the grossest insult to the Irish people who fought for their freedom and kicked them out as far as the north at least, even though that may have been controlled, like India and Gandhi. And it's just besmirching the memory of real liberty-fighting people. And we're going to need that fighting spirit again, to be honest, because they're forcing us against a wall. And I'm a peaceful man. I'm going to stay peaceful as long as I can. I'm organising a chemtrail rally. That's going to be a peaceful event, a chemtrail rally on the 9th of July, 2011, near Duxford in Cambridge. You can check out that on the Free Truth Show channel. So, but I can see a day when we'll be forced to be more than peaceful, and I don't want to go there, you know? Oh,
yeah. Well, I would think that because she was wearing the flag, and that's basically what she did, and that's a ceremonial procedure, obviously, you know.
Yeah, it was a Masonic ritual, yeah.
Was anybody else allowed to bring flags into where she was?
I didn't see any. And what they didn't show you was that all the streets were emptied. CIA were all over the place.
Whoa. Well, there was one thing. I was watching TV3 News, right, and they saw this wonderful ceremony of the Queen, you know, laying the wreath, and it's like, oh, we killed 189 of your people, but here's some plant matter that'll make it all better. And then what they don't show you, because then we flip the channel to Deutsche Welle, DWTV, it's a German news channel, and they show you all these huge amounts of protesters in the street all over the place.
They were Irish Republicans. Apparently, not very happy. No, I don't blame them, to be honest, you know. But now, and apparently they found a bomb on a bus that was headed into central Dublin and defused just in time. And they do that sort of thing. They probably made that story up just to justify the millions spent on security, just so she could have a... She even turned down a pint of Guinness, for God's sake.
Are you kidding me?
She went to the Guinness brewery and didn't drink it. I know why she didn't drink it, because 75% of Ireland is medicated with fluoride, and there's probably loads in the Guinness.
That's a commonest beverage.
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly reduce my IQ and give myself bone cancer. That's for the slaves.
I'm already incredibly old and haggard with fragile hips as it is. I've got to get, like, Botox injected 14 times a day. Easy.
Don't offer me a Guinness again. I am the Queen, and it simply won't do.
Well, I mean, it just shows how into Irish culture she is. I mean, did she get drunk once while she was in Ireland? I mean, anybody who understands Irish culture has to get drunk while they're there, okay? Did she do that? I don't think so.
It gets worse. Obama's coming next week. I think it's next week, you know. So we've got from one tyrant to another, you know.
Oh, goodness.
Tyrantsville.
It's almost... They need to employ extra dustmen so that when they come across these kind of filth like the Royals or the Barack H. O'Barry regime, they can just sweep them up, crush them in the back of the truck, and then dump them in an undisclosed landfill to decompose with the rest of the trash of history.
But that would go no way in reducing their carbon footprint, you see. We can't allow that.
Well, you know, they should just make some carbon footprints into space where they could just F off and leave us to actually live in peace and freedom for once.
I noticed all the carbon tax demonstrations going on in Australia. What's happening in New Zealand with that?
Well, you remember last year, or was it the year before, the oil hit $140 a barrel?
Yeah.
Yep. And gas per litre here in New Zealand was like... it only just hit $2 a litre, okay? Now, it's trading at $100, that's NYMEX crude, as of last night, and the petrol is $2.26 per litre. Okay? Do the math for me on that one, because I don't think that having a cheaper barrel per oil price and a more expensive per litre price stacks up. Here's one reason why. Carbon taxes. We're the first country in the world dumb enough to pass carbon tax laws into legislation.
We've just been dished out. They've estimated that the new green taxes in England is going to cost every household an extra £500 a year.
Are you
on a
effing
global
kidding
warming
me?
Scam. Nope. In the Daily Mail online today. £500 a year for every household. Green taxes.
Well, I guess that pastor must be right. The world is going to end sooner than we think.
I was going to say about that, actually. I've already packed my bag. What about you?
Oh, yeah. Well, this guy...
This Armageddon thing, is it global?
Yeah. And he predicted the Jesus' return to Earth in August as well, 1994. So I don't think he's got a lot of credibility. I mean, the guy stands in the street with a sandwich board sign saying the Bible guarantees that the world's going to end on May 21st, and of course doesn't have the passage where it guarantees that on the board at all.
They must have ripped that page out or something afterwards.
See, this is it. This is the thing. Any random crazy person who believes in God gets huge amounts of media attention so that they can demonize the rest of the good Christian, sensible population, right? And fulfill the satanic agenda. That's my opinion anyway. And just like this other pastor who's threatening to burn Qurans and whatever the heck, the media is just hyping it up to incite racial and religious hatred.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get us to fucking hate each other.
The Bible itself has an ethical code, and the Freemasons have vowed to destroy organised religion. If people don't have that moral code anymore, no gauge to go by, whether you're religious or not, and I'm not overtly religious, people don't know what's good and what isn't anymore. The younger people today, they have no moral gauge. Anything goes, and that's the plan, you see. Have fun, anything goes, do this, do that. And eventually I've read these elites' plan to introduce intergenerational sex into schools. They're going to be teaching in schools very soon, and teachers are already cavorting around and using sex toys in schools in Germany and masturbation classes. The idea is that your kids will be taught that it's okay to sleep with older people. Paedophilia in schools, that's what's coming next. It's a slow degradation, an incremental degradation of our morality, you see. That's why people are being indoctrinated with television. It's a massive plan to convert people, to undermine their morality and convert them to anything goes. And then you have them. That's how you undermine and take over a nation. You take over their minds. You corrupt them. That's what's happening,
How long did it take in order to instill morals and ethics in people? It took generations, didn't it, of people reading the Bible to their kids? So
it takes one generation to destroy it.
For F's sake. I mean, seriously. Yeah. They're so adept at destroying everything of value. And that's what's so dangerous. Yeah, well, they've been doing it for a long time. They've got a lot of practice. They've
got us down. They've got us down, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Down, but not out. And we'll be right back after this very short break at the VinnyEastwoodShow.com. Join us in the chat room there. The number to call in is 402-237-2525. And check out the articles at guerrillamedia.co.nz. Back in a moment.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns?